Hey everybody, Nick Licameli here. Today, we got a good one today. Today we're talking about a concept that I heard on a fantastic episode of the Iron Culture podcast with Eric Helms and Omar Isuf. And the guest was Chip Conrad. And if you don't know Chip Conrad, get to know Chip Conrad if you're interested in anything to do with fitness. The guy's been around for a very long time, a very insightful guy, and has really, really great things to offer. And the title of the podcast was The Problem with the Fitness Industry, or something along those lines. And the basic idea and what the conversation basically was all about was how exercise and fitness gets broken up into these little categories with these arbitrary boundaries, and it gets broken up into these little like tribes, right? And then so things like you get bodybuilders, and you get powerlifters, and you get CrossFitters, and you get people who do yoga, right? So you get all these different tribes of groups. But at the end of the day, it's all just exercise, right? It's all just movement. And when you break up into these tribes, then what Chip and the guys were saying is that when you break it up like that, it then becomes products, right? So each of those little subgroups then becomes a product. And there's gear to buy for it. There are courses to take for these things. But in reality, it's all just movement. It's all just exercise, right? And what it comes down to is that by breaking it up into these tribes, it limits us, right? It limits us to if someone is someone who does yoga, they may not branch out and see what a deadlift feels like, or feel what a squat feels like, right? But why not, right? Why can't someone do a yoga pose and in the beginning of a workout or the end of a workout and then do a deadlift in the same workout, right? I think these boundaries limit people to the type of exercise that they do. And the type of exercise is just the mode, right? It's just the mode, just the method of exercising. And it's not the method of exercise that makes the difference. It's not the method that causes weight loss. Running does not make you lose weight. Yoga does not make you lose weight. Movement and proper nutrition in a caloric deficit makes you lose weight. How you go about doing that is irrelevant. How you go about doing that should be something that you enjoy and should be something that you can adhere to. All right? So if you hate running, don't run. Right? You can lose weight other ways. And this particular podcast really struck me because physical therapy and the medical field are going through the same thing. Same exact thing. We are getting divided into different tribes of treatment techniques and treatment philosophies. You have people that are very manual therapy focused, so a lot of hands-on, active releasing of muscles and instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization, and all these different certifications in the FMS, SFMA, McKenzie practitioners, Mulligan, all these different types of joint manipulations and mobilizations, and then you have the pain science group who are very less mechanistic. And then you have the people who look at the body like a mechanic looking at a car, right? All these different people and these tribes, and people get so invested in them. And whenever someone is invested in something, right, the more someone is invested in something, the harder it is to question it, right? Or to put it into question and let it go. If you write books on a certain technique and you spend your life teaching about this technique and using it, and why would that person be willing to call it into question and change it, right? So I guess the point here is that just like in exercise, how it's not the method that matters, right? It's the principles of adherence, movement, and a caloric deficit and proper nutrition, right? Those are the principles of weight loss. when it comes to pain and recovery, it's basically letting Mother Nature do her thing, right? And us not getting in the way of that. So whether that be reducing the load on the tissue, whether it be providing better coping mechanisms for the situation or for the pain or whatever the case may be, that's the basics of recovery, right? So however we go about doing that is irrelevant, right? Whatever tribe we belong to, we shouldn't be focused on that, because at the end of the day, it's all about healing and just letting Mother Nature do her thing. So yeah, I think the fitness industry and the medical field are going through a similar phase here, where we're getting broken up into different categories with these arbitrary boundaries, and they become products. They become very profitable. There's a lot of money involved, and whenever we break up into groups like that, things become products rather than principles, rather than just having exercise, and all of us come together as people who love fitness and love exercise and love living a healthy lifestyle. We get broken up into different categories. And instead of, in physical therapy and medicine, instead of all of us just being involved in healing and the healing process and the recovery process, we get broken up into different tribes with these boundaries. And it prevents us from kind of taking bits and pieces from each of them. All that being said, I get that being involved in a tribe or a group it feels good, right? It's in our nature to want to belong. But I think the tribe and the group that we should belong in is, like I said, is just exercise and fitness and healing, and people who like to help and help people recover and kind of get through their issues that they're going through. So I hope this helps. Sorry it was a bit of a rant, but I think it could be beneficial to kind of start thinking about these things. All right, I will thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you want, and we'll see you next time.